Good morning. Good morning. My thought for you, I've been working with this week. It's on the Vayus. So the Vayus are, the word means wind. And what it means is it's talking about the different ways that our pranic body moves. It's talking about the different actions that our prana takes. And what we're really meant to understand is that prana is just prana, right? It's all one energy. It's all one unified energy source or one unified energy reality. But within that unified reality, there are all of these different intersecting kind of movements. So you have energy that's going up and down and outward and inward and all of the things that happen within that wholeness. So this is what the body does, or this is what the prana does. It moves through the physical body. And since we're in this period of transition, right, just entering into spring, is that it's a good time to start looking at where and how your prana, where and how those Vayus are working in you, how they're working in your body, or how they're not working, right? Because we talk about spring renewal, we talk about this being a time of, detoxing and changing things and growing things and all of that. But if we don't have a sense of clarity about how things are moving, then that growth becomes much more difficult to do, right? We don't have the resources actually moving in the direction that's going to support that experience of growth, right? So looking at the Vayus as a way of starting to already rebalance your system for where you are right now, not from where you want to be 2 months from now, 3 months from now, but where you actually are right now. Right? So creating the foundation, creating the actual environment in which new things or growth is actually able to occur with ease, without obstruction. So comfortable seat if you're not there already, with the eyes closed. And really what this means is when you start working with the Vayus is that you are starting to attune yourself back to the natural flow of your prana. But also by doing that, you start to attune yourself back to that full awareness of prana itself. So no longer just how it's moving this way or that way, but you start to feel how it's moving in all ways, right? You start to feel the interconnectedness of it instead of the separateness of trying to differentiate this action or that action. So find yourself going inward, settle into your seat. Actually feel your breath. Good. And then as you are breathing, as you inhale, mentally follow the breath in through the right nostril, exhale out through the left. Good. Inhaling through the right nostril, just following it with your mind, exhaling out through the left. Just a little bit of the circling of the breaths to start to wake up a little bit of that sun energy. Ayurveda suggests, yoga suggests that when we are about to begin anything, the foundation of how energy moves in your body and in your mind is that your digestion, your physical digestion, and mentally how you are digesting the world. So if our digestion or our mind is a little bit sluggish, then we can do a lot of really great things and it doesn't process. Or we struggle and we wonder why, and it's because there's old patterns, old ideas that need to move. You're stimulating that nadi for the sun, Surya. And with your next inhale, pause your attention at the third eye as you breathe in. And exhale out through the left nostril, release the breath. And inhale the arms up to the sky, deep breath in. Good, twisting to the right, please. Left hand to outer right knee, right hand comes behind you, fingers to the floor. Kapalabhati breath, so a long inhale, full breath in. A full breath out, exhale, drop into your seat, soften your rib cage back, make space for your belly. And then inhale just about halfway, and then begin to pump on the exhale, navel to spine. Exhale, 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 exhale. Good, keep going. Try to move from the navel, not from the breath moving the navel, but the navel moving the breath. Good, long throat. Nice, you guys. Deep breath in, pause and hold, attention at the third eye. Then exhale, release the breath, release the twist, come back to center. Let the head do gentle circles. Good. It's essentially said that your breath and prana are one and the same, so that when you are moving your breath, focusing on the breath, is that you are bringing attention, awareness to your prana. When you have attention and awareness at your prana, with your prana, it becomes energized. Good. Come back to stillness, please. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. Little twist to your left, right hand to outer left knee, left fingertips back behind you. Same breath on this side, full breath in, inhale. Full breath out, exhale, drop into your seat, move your belly back away from your thighs, move your ribs back. So then when you inhale halfway and begin your exhale, 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 exhale. Good. By moving the ribs back first, you make a little bit more space for the belly to begin its movement. If you start out with the ribs popped forward, is you have less access to your belly. And then the effort has to come from somewhere else, or it's going to feel like it's pulling more on your back. Good. Nice. Exhale, 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 exhale. Navel, 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 navel. It's like you're giving your digestion a little jump start, giving your mind a little jump start. Keep going. Navel, 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 navel. And then a deep breath in, pause and hold at the top, awareness at the third eye, focus. Then as you exhale, release the breath, release your twist, pause for a moment. Feel the breath move into every space that it can. That is the awareness you carry through the class, is can you let the breath move into every space that it can? Bring your hands together in front of the heart center, palm to palm. We'll open with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. And let the eyes float open. Nice, you guys. You can release your hands, please, and then roll yourself forward onto hands and knees. Good. Start to do some cat and cow. So hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Inhaling, lengthening the spine, stretching through the front of the belly. Exhaling, curling and rounding, pulling up through the back of the rib cage. Good, and then inhaling, lengthening again. Again, pulling the belly, so the tops of the thighs tug back as your armpits and chest pull forward. Good, and then as you exhale, you're stretching the back body. So the same thing happens. You lift your hip points up, you lift your armpits up. Good, hollow the front of the body. Good, and then come forward again, hollow the back of the body. Again, tug the tops of your thighs backwards as your chest comes forwards. Nice, keep moving with your breath. Good. So this feeling of, again, moving in the two directions, forward and backwards, or towards the crown of the head and towards the tail, is sort of how we have the coordinated action of prana and apana. Right, so the pranic energy moving upward, the upward flow, apana, the downward flow from the top of the head down towards the tail or the feet. Good. And then come back to neutral, please. Neutral spine. Step your right leg back behind you, toes tucked on the floor. And then step that right foot over your left ankle. So bring it to the bottom left-hand corner of your mat. Look over your left shoulder, like you're looking towards those toes. Good. Keep pressing into your hands. Lift your armpits here. Lift your chest. Good. And then don't let that right hip drop lower than your left. So pull it up and wide. Yeah, and as you press through the big toe mound of that foot, so you're not letting the leg roll open, as you're keeping that inner edge of the leg rolling down towards the floor, so your hip stays wide. Then as you look over the shoulder, you get a little bit more space in the right ribs, and breathe into that. Good. And then come back to center, please. Right leg straight back behind you. Good, lift that leg up off the floor. Good, walk your left arm forward towards straight. Yep, and then come into the balance. Take the left hand off the floor in line with your shoulder. Deep breath in. Good, and as you exhale, bring the elbow and the knee towards each other underneath your belly. Round your back, squeeze. Good, and then inhale, extend out, breathing out through the extremities. Good, exhale, squeeze in. Call this Vyana Mudra or Vyana Mudra, the inward and outward energy. Into the core, out from the core. Extend all the way out. One more time, exhale, squeeze in. Good, and then extend back to neutral, and then release back to hands and knees. Nice job. Good, take the left leg back behind you, toes tucked on the floor. Step it over your right ankle, so to the bottom right-hand corner of your mat, look over your right shoulder. Good, and then same attention with the upper body, so don't collapse here because you're just doing something with your legs now. Push into your hands, keep your chest lifted. Good, and you're not letting that left hip drop lower than the right, so keep it up. Beautiful. Big toe mound roots down. Really curl into your left side body, so you're not just looking over that right shoulder, but you're actually curling into the left side. Good, all the way through the ribs, through the hip. Beautiful, and then come back to center, please. Left leg straight back behind you. Float that leg up off the floor in line with your hip. Walk the right arm forward towards straight. Pause for a moment so that you find your balance first, and then lift that hand up off the floor. Good, you find the center first, and then the lift becomes much more effortless. Deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the elbow and knee together underneath you, round your back. Again, pulling in towards the center. And then inhale, extend all the way out, expanding out from the center. Good, exhale, squeeze in again, bring everything in, round, 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 curl. And then inhale, extend, like you're stretching the belly, you're stretching the back. So it's not just a reaching, it's a full pulling. Keep going, one more time, squeeze in. Good, and then extend all the way out. Nice job, you guys. Release back to hands and knees, please. Good, tuck your toes, lift your hips, come back, downward facing dog. Beautiful, pedal the feet a little bit if you'd like. And then find a steadiness through your heels or a steadiness through the legs. Bend your elbows out wide. So as you bend your elbows, let them go super wide and feel the arm bones sink into the upper shoulder. Good, upper shoulders wide away from the ears. Nice, feel the squeeze of your forearms already. Thumb and first finger press down. Good, and then lengthen your throat, so press through the top of your head. Nice, now start to squeeze your elbows towards the back of your mat. Hug those upper arms. Good. And then continue to keep that wideness of your shoulders as you pull your hips back in space a little more to straighten your arms. So your elbows should not feel like they're able to lock because you're moving backwards through your spine, not pushing just through your arms. Good. Right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Nice, Virginia. Nice, Lisa. Really good. Step that right foot forward between the hands. Good. Drop the back knee to the floor. Use a blanket there if you'd like. Anjaneyasana. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Good. Nice, you guys. Turn the palms forward, please. And then make that kind of little, like you're holding a barbell, or make a little fist or a bear claw, whichever version you like best. Good. And then as you bend the elbows out wide, you're pulling in through your ribs and lifting your chest up, 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 even squeezing the legs. So it might feel like you're lifting away from the floor. And then go ahead and descend the hips as you stretch the arms back up to the sky. Deep breath in. Then as you exhale, elbows out and wide, like you're doing a pull-up. Chest goes high and you squeeze in and up, ribs in. And then let the hips descend as you take the arms up. And one more time, elbows out wide. Pull up through your chest, up through your ribs, up through your spine. Good. And then let your pelvis go a little deeper as you stretch the arms up to the sky. Nice. And then release the hands down to the floor, please. Good. Lift the back knee up. Yep. Squeeze the feet towards each other. Inhale the arms up to the sky. High lunge. So same leg forward, but stretch the arms up. Good. And then take your torso forward, parallel to the floor. Stretch your arms back behind you. Good. Don't interlace the fingers. Just have your palms facing each other. Yeah. And then lift the hands as high as they'll go. So it's like you're trying to find that shoulder stretch, but you're not interlacing the fingers. So lift up, and then squeeze the upper arms. Squeeze the hands towards each other. Nice. Chest is lifted up towards the top of your mat. Nice. Breathe out through the top of your head and press back through your pelvis. One more breath. Squeeze the arms. Awesome. And then inhale, arms and chest to the sky, high lunge. Good. Front knee goes over the front ankle. Yep. And then release the hands down to the floor. Nice, you guys. Good. Right leg comes up and back behind you, down dog split. It's funny, we do high lunge a lot, but I think that if we all in one moment were in high lunge fully, right? Front knee over the front ankle, thigh parallel to the floor, is that, you know, something magic would happen if we were all doing that at the same time. Bend the right knee, kick your heel in towards your butt. Stack the right hip on top of the left. Good. Squeeze that left heel in towards the midline. Lift your left low belly and hip wider. Yep. Beautiful. And then point that right knee down to the floor, please. Good. And then step the right foot back between the hands. Lunge. Yep. Drop the back knee. Use a blanket there if you'd like. Anjaneyasana. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Good. Again, squeezing the front heel and the back knee towards each other. Awesome. Get that little lift through your low belly. Draw your ribs in. Take your heart towards the sky. Deep breath in. Lean back. Good. Stretching the belly. Stretching the front of the thigh. So it's not about how far back can I get. It's can I pull my armpits up away from my hips so that I get that stretch through my belly. And then release the hands down to the floor. Both hands inside the front foot. Nice job. Do some circles with that hip. You can lift the back knee if you'd like, or keep it on the floor. Good. Nice. Physically, the asana is meant to help us move the stagnation in the physical body so that prana can move. That's really its purpose. Good. So spring is the time, right? When we start paying attention to how things are organized, we start paying attention to how things are set up so that what we want to see grow and flourish is capable of doing it. Good. Come back to stillness, please. Drop the back knee down to the floor if you've lifted it. Good. Keep your left hand on the floor. Take your right arm to the sky, spinal twist. Good. Yeah, and then lean onto that left hand maybe a little bit more. Flex your right foot, drop onto the baby toe edge of that foot, let your knee go wide. Yeah, and all the way from the top of the hip, you're letting it go wide. So you're not just wondering if the knee is able to go wide, but you're actually letting the thigh fall open. Good, and letting your chest fall backwards in the other direction. Really nice, Harriet. Nice, Allison. Good, Laura. Nice, Danielle. Heart to the sky, one more breath. Yeah, good, Tom. And then come all the way back to center, please. Right foot finds the floor. Lift your back knee up. Find your way back downward facing dog. Good. Slide forward to plank pose, upward push up. Lower down to your belly slow, coming through knees first if you need. Forehead to the floor. Take your hands back behind you, elbows wide. Elbows wide, hands behind your head. Sorry, that wasn't clear. Hands behind you, any part of you. No, behind your head. Lift your elbows up off the floor. Good. Press down through the tops of your feet, the tops of your shins, like you have a little block between your shins. You're hugging, right? So the inner shins are hugging. And then begin to lift head, neck, and chest. Keep your gaze down towards the floor. Press your head up into your hands. Good. And as your head lifts, your elbows are lifted. Try and squeeze your elbows in towards each other a little bit more. So almost like you're cupping the outer edges of your head, but you're keeping your back lifted. Good. So you're squeezing the inner tips of the elbows forward. Nice. And then slowly release, hands back down to the floor. Press up to hands and knees. Come back to child's pose for just a breath, knees wide, hips to your heels. Good. And then bring yourself back to downward facing dog, tucking the toes, lifting the hips. Good. Left foot steps forward between the hands, lunge. Drop the back knee, use a blanket there if you'd like. Anjaneyasana, inhale the arms up to the sky. Good. So again, there's a squeezing together of the legs. Turn your palms forward. Again, make your little barbell hands or bear claws or whatever. And on an inhale, get taller. As you exhale, bend your elbows out wide. Pull your ribs in. That's the thing. Don't let the ribs stay popped out. Pull them in and squeeze the legs. Good. And then let your pelvis go a little deeper as you inhale the arms back up to the sky. Good. And then exhale, squeeze everything in, pull up. Nice. Lift, lift, lift internally. Good. And then straighten the arms, relax the pelvis. And then one more time, squeeze down with those elbows, lift the chest and feel yourself pulling in and up through the lowest places of your spine, lowest places of your belly. Good. And then release the arms back up to the sky. Let the pelvis go a little deeper. Nice. And then release the hands down to the floor, please. Good. Lift the back knee up. Squeeze the feet towards each other. And then sweep the arms up to the sky, high lunge. Yeah, it's so tricky. Take your hands back down to the floor. Right, this is my thing, right? If we can all do high lunge, really the way we're capable of, I promise something's going to happen. So take your front knee over your front ankle, right? Let yourself actually feel that you are in the lunge, right? And then squeeze your legs towards each other. So again, you're finding balance before you have to lift the torso. So squeeze that. And then navel to spine, round your back, almost like you're doing cat. Good. So you get that pelvic energy really awake. Now take your arms up alongside your ears, stretch your belly. Just keep lifting your chest up. Keep hugging the legs. That was awesome. Knee over the ankle. Really good, you guys. Now don't change that. Take your torso forward, parallel to the floor. Stretch your arms back behind you. Good. Thumbs pointing down, palms facing each other. Chest lifts up. So roll your arm bones forward and up. Lift the back of your throat. And then squeeze those hands towards each other. Good. Like you've got a block between your hands, but you don't really. Pull your ribs in and up. Press your butt back towards your back heel. Nice. And then let that front knee come over the front ankle again. One more breath, chest up. Good. Really good. And then sweep the arms all the way back up to high lunge. Don't give up on the legs. Yeah. Stretch your belly. Reach your armpits higher. Yes. Nice, Harriet. Nice, Lynn. And then hands down to the floor. Really good, you guys. Good. Take your left leg up and back, down dog split. Good. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt, stack the left hip on top of the right. As you do, squeeze that right heel, the supporting heel, in towards the midline of your mat. Lift your right low belly and hip wider to the right. Good. Nice, you guys. And then point that knee facing the floor, please. Step the left foot between the hands back to the front of your mat. Drop the back knee. Use a blanket there if you'd like. Anjaneyasana. Take the arms up to the sky. Good. Again, lifting from your armpits, lifting through your side waist. Again, make this pose about stretching your belly and less about what you think is going on with your legs, right? Good. So let the chest lift a little higher. Hug the front heel and the back knee towards each other. Chest up, lean back. Good. Stretch your belly. Awesome. And then come all the way back up. Release the hands down to the floor. Really good, Susan. Both hands come inside the front foot, please. Do a little circling with that front hip if you'd like. Lisa, maybe step that front foot a little wider to the left so you have more space. Good. I know it's a lot of thigh work early, and I'm not doing it to be mean specifically. Not specifically. But there's a lot of meridians, right? There's a lot of energy channels that run through the thighs, right? Front of the thighs, there's stomach meridians, there's liver meridians, there's bladder, kidney meridians. There's so much that runs through the thighs that when we start to open up this area that is chronically pretty dense and tight for most of us, if not all of us, then it frees up the ability for that energy to flow. And then where there is stagnation, it can be relieved. Where there's deficiency, it can be balanced. And then those organ systems in your body can function more efficiently. Come back to stillness. Good. Right hand plants the left arm to the sky. If you have that back knee off the floor, bring it back down. Good. So take your spinal twist. Good. And then leaning onto that right hand, flex the left toes, come onto the baby toe edge of that foot, let your knee go wide. And then pay attention that as that thigh's going wide out from the hip, your knee is going wide, is you're actually lifting your right hip point a little higher and wider, almost away from the twist. So you're not collapsing that whole right side of your body. You still have a little bit of a lift happening there. Good. Nice, you guys. Push that right hip wider to the right, everybody. Good. And then bring it all the way back to neutral. Take that left foot flat to the floor, hands to the floor. It's really not neutral, but come back to your lunge. That's really the word I was looking for. Lift the back knee. Good. Come back downward facing dog. And slide forward to plank pose, upward push up. Good. Lower down slow to your belly, coming through knees first if you need. Good. And then bend both knees, kick your heels in towards your butt, reach back for the ankles, right hand for right ankle, left hand for left ankle. And if reaching your ankles is not possible today, you're going to keep your hands alongside your ribs like you would for cobra, but keep your heels kicked in towards your butt. Good. You're keeping your thighs rooted down to the floor. Hug your inner knees so that they're not wider than your hips. They're right in line with your hips. So press down through the thighs, draw your heels towards your butt, keep them there. So you can curl the toes back. You can add a little pressure of the feet against the hands, but you're drawing the heels in towards your butt and keeping them there. And then as you inhale, bend your elbows up towards the ceiling, lift your upper chest, keep your thighs rooted down to the floor. Good. So if you just clenched your butt to try to make the back bend happen, press your thighs down. Extend from the muscles of your back. So you're reaching. Tailbone pulls back towards your heels, thighs down. Front of pelvic bones forward and up. Bend those elbows, bend those elbows. If you don't bend your elbows, your chest isn't going anywhere in this pose. Good. And then slowly release. Really nice, you guys. Stretch the legs straight back behind you. Arms come in front of you. They're stretching the arms straight overhead. Good. Feet back behind you. Good. And as you inhale, you're going to lift your right leg and your left arm up at the same time. So across the body. So lift right leg, left arm, and then release it down. And then lift left leg, right arm, and release it down. And keep doing that as you inhale, alternating cross body lift and release. On the other side, lift and release. Good. Focusing again on, can you lift the upper body to the same height as your lower body? Yeah. If you're wondering which one is higher, it's pretty much all of you. It's always the leg that's higher. So focus on, can you extend out through the upper body from your hip to your armpit? Good. Just sort of our awareness with the Vayus, because they work in all of these different directions, is to pay attention. What directions do we easily feel like we can move energy, or energy is moving, prana is moving, and where is it not moving? Good. Nice, you guys. And then bring everything back down to stillness on your belly. Good. Keeping the arms where they are. Press into the front of the pelvis. Lift both legs up at the same time. So just the legs. Lift the legs up. Good. And then flutter the feet. So like you're doing a little kicking as though you're swimming. Good. Keep the legs as long as you can so that the action here is coming really from the tops of the thighs. So it's not coming through your knees. It's coming tops of thighs, up and down, up and down, up and down. Inner thighs, up and down, up and down, up and down. If your upper body is rocking around like crazy, try and steady it. Good. Really extend out through your legs, extend out through your toes, long legs, flutter, flutter, flutter. Good. And then inhale, pull back like someone's tugging on your ankles, lift both feet, both legs, and release the feet back down to the floor. Good. Now with your arms out in front of you, you can separate your hands a little bit wider if you'd like. Press your fingertips down into the floor. So you're pressing down into your fingertips, lift the heels of your hands, lift your armpits up just a little bit, and then begin to lift head, neck, and chest. Keep your feet on the ground. So it's gonna be like a little baby cobra or the other half of locust. So you're pressing down through your feet don't lift. Good, so you're pressing into your hands, lift your chest as high as you can. Good, again, the hands a little wider might give you a little bit more feeling of space, like you have those, the support of your arms to keep lifting your chest, keep lifting your chest, keep lifting your chest. Good. Keep lifting, keep lifting, keep lifting. Go as high as you can. Press into your hands. Keep lifting your chest. Good. If you're not as high as you usually come in Cobra, keep lifting your chest. There you go. Keep lifting. Good. Press down through the legs. Nice. Now maintain that and take your hands off the floor. Oh, yeah. Surprise. And then release. Really good, you guys. Make a pillow with your hands or turn one cheek to the side. Good. And can you actually feel yourself, not just breathing, but can you feel yourself as breath? So we practice trying to unite the breath with our movements so that we have this unity. It says when the mind is really clearly identified with the prana, with the breath. The way it's described in Vishoka meditation, it says the mind realizes that it has a friend in the breath. It's not doing this alone. And when it knows that, it starts to calm down and it goes back into more of its natural state. And its natural state, as we're told, is one that is really open and expansive. And there's the great opportunity for there to be things like bliss that are in our awareness all the time. So part of the practice is not just to breathe, but to feel yourself as breath, to let the mind be flowing with breath as breath. And so you feel how the breath moves in so many directions, up and down, from the center all the way out to the extremities, from the extremities back to the center. How it circulates. And feel every inch that the breath can go to, let it go there. At the end of your next exhale, flip yourself over onto your back. Good. Take your legs up to the sky. Onto your back, legs up. Nice. Take your arms out wide, letter T, pressing the palms down towards the floor. Flex your feet. Good. So you're keeping your right leg straight up towards the ceiling. Start to let your left leg extend down towards the floor. So split the legs, right leg up, left leg down. As the left heel hovers above the floor, just an inch or so, pull that thigh up and in. So suck into that lower abdomen. Good. And then keep that drawing in and take the left leg back up to the sky. Good. Keep your low rib cage softening down. Do the other side. So the left leg stays up, right leg extends forward. Good. Maintaining that downward press of the arms and the upper shoulders. Good. As that heel hovers just an inch, pull it into the thigh socket. So pull up into the hip socket, scoop, and then bring that leg all the way back up to center. Good. Do it slow. Don't rush. And then take the left leg forward again. Good. Working lower abdominals, upper abdominals. So as that leg comes down, pull the thigh in and up, scoop into your low belly, and then take the leg back up towards the sky. Try not to get your neck involved. Good. And then the right leg comes forward. Nice. Do it nice and slow. So it's the control of not only the abdominals, but the thigh energy. And then pull into the hip socket, come all the way back up. One more time, each side, left leg comes down, or whatever leg you're on if you're ahead of me. Good. Squeeze in, scoop into your low belly, press through your sacrum and take that leg back up to the sky. So as the leg comes up, it's like you're pressing down through the low back. And then try the other side, last time. Good. Again, pulling into the thigh socket, pull up into the hip socket. Yeah, and scooping the low belly, take the leg back up. Really good, Danielle. Nice, you guys. Pause with both legs to the sky and then pull the knees in towards your chest. Good. Do a little massage on your lower back, rolling from side to side. Nice. And then come back to stillness, widen the knees, reach for your ankles or your feet. Happy baby. Good. And then keep the legs where they are. Interlace your fingers, pointer fingers pressing out, hands reaching through the legs. Deep breath in. As you exhale, lift the shoulders up off the floor, reach through the legs even more, extend. Good. And then release the shoulders back down, finding the inhale. As you exhale, navel towards your spine, curl up and reach forward. Keep your low back anchored to the floor here and hug those knees in. Don't let them go wider. Good. And then lower back down. Nice. Inhale again. Exhale one more time. Reach up through the legs. Pull those knees towards your shoulders, towards your armpits. Good. And then release, please. Nice job. Hug the knees in towards your chest. Beautiful. And then one more fun exercise. Take your legs up towards the sky again. Good. And cross one ankle over the other and bend your knees just a little bit. Yep. So you're pressing those ankles against each other. Again, take the arms out wide, pressing the arms down. Good. So this is all lower abdominals. Your shoulders are not doing this. Your neck is not doing this. As though you are going to roll yourself up into shoulder stand. You're curling into your low belly. Take those feet to the sky. Lift your butt. Yep. Curl into your low belly. Lift your hips. Good. Use as little momentum as you can, but I want you to really feel the squeeze of the low belly, the lift of your hips. Maybe you even have a little bit of your glutes helping out with that. That's okay. But try and find this in your lower belly. Good. So you keep the shoulders relaxed as much as you can. Press down through the arms. Nice. Good, you guys. When you've done a couple on that side, switch the cross of the ankles and do the same things. Little bend to the knees. So don't try and do this with a locked straight leg, right? Bend the knees, find the low belly and lift. Good. Letting the shoulders stay as relaxed as they can or rooted as they can because they might not be relaxed. Good. If this is fatiguing your low belly really quickly, do it every day for a week. Good. And then slowly release. Please hug the knees in towards your chest. Nice job. The core of you, the Vayu that moves through the belly, that moves through your digestion, Samana Vayu. Release the feet down to the floor, please. Grab your block. Lift your hips. Take the block underneath your sacrum. Any height you'd like. Good. And then relaxing the shoulders either with the arms alongside you or taking the arms maybe out wide to cactus arms, maybe overhead to hold opposite elbows or wrists. So cactus arms instead of robot arms, Lynn. There you go. Good. Yes, you're relaxing the arms to the floor. Again, not only stretching the back here, but imagining that you are also now stretching the belly. Stretching the connection where the thighs meet the pelvis. As we move into April, it's sort of automatic because April is Hanuman's birthday month. So if you know that, then your mind, when you get to April, automatically goes to Hanuman. You just get ready for that. Because it means you're going to do a lot of Hanumanasana, probably. Hanuman is the son of the wind. His father is Vayu, the god of the wind. And it's through that lineage, or it's through that connection, that it's said that many of his superpowers are given to him. And this is what we're told, is that when you're really in communication with, you're really in alignment with your prana, your mind is in alignment with your prana, is that what you're able to do and how you're able to do it seems miraculous. Maybe almost effortless, maybe more than you imagined that you could, because you have your united energy behind you. And the strength of your prana as it moves, those winds, very powerful. But if it's running every which way, then that power is dispersed. We don't have access to it. We forget. It's also the story of Hanuman. He forgets who he is. So you start to feel yourself not just breathing, but as breath. And you find out the kind of superhero you would be, that you are. Good. Keeping your your sacrum balanced on that block. Take your legs up towards the sky, so a supported shoulder stand. Good. Even if your knees are still bent, but feet off the floor is great. Good. So again, playing with that feeling of how you have to angle your pelvis with the block to be able to balance. And finding maybe a little bit more lift at the very top of your armpits. So your ribs, as it meets your arms, lift just a little higher. Nice, Lisa. Good, Virginia. You got it. You might have to arch your lower back just a little bit more, Virginia, so that you have a more of a solid connection to the block. There you go. Good, you guys. One more breath. And then release the feet back down to the floor. Good. Lift your butt up off of the block. Good. Let your hips come back down to the floor for a moment. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. Let your knees rock from side to side, windshield wipers. And the next time the knees drop to the right, let them stay there. Arms can go wide or arms overhead, holding opposite elbows. If you want to stack your right ankle on top of your left thigh, you're welcome to do that. Increase the stretch on that left leg a little bit. Good. If the knee doesn't like having that added weight, take the foot off of the knee and just let the knees drop wide. Good. When you're working with your prana, it can be a little overwhelming to say, well, it moves this way and it moves this way, and it moves that way, and it moves that way, and where should I focus? Just pick one. Pick one place to start your awareness. And that one place that you start, because everything is unified, will automatically bring you into better awareness of all the others. So you pick one Vayu, upward, downward, outward, inward, circling, and the throat. How the breath moves in your throat, between the mind and the body. Bring the knees back to center, please. Feet nice and wide. Let the knees drop over to the left. Change your arm position if you'd like, or leave it where it is. Left ankle can stack on top of right thigh if you'd like. If you're not sure where to start, Ayurveda says always start with your digestion. So start with Samana Vayu. How the prana moves through the belly in a circle. Digestion. Processing. Composting. The belly does its work. That's mirrored in the mind. The mind is able to process experience a little bit more clearly. And you're not only composting the physical material stuff of the body, but you're composting your mind, you're composting your thoughts. Thich Nhat Hanh says that. He says, compost, use your emotions as compost, use your emotional experiences as fuel to become aware, to become open again, to feed the wholeness. Good. Bring yourself all the way back to center, please. Nice. Bring your feet hips width again. So come back, heel toe the feet a little closer. Good. And then plant the arms alongside you, robot arms. So elbows bent, fingers point up towards the ceiling. Press down through the upper arms, reach up through the armpits, reach up through the top of the chest, like you're about to come into bridge, but you haven't lifted your hips yet. Good. So you're just pressing into the arms, doing the upper back work of bridge, pressing long through the top of your head. Feel the breath at your throat. If you want to add a little ujjayi breath, you can, feeling the exhale or hearing the exhale. Slight constriction at the throat. Good. Keep the lift of the chest, sustain it. Keep the pressing down of the arms, engaged but not forceful, not clenched. Good. And then with the next breath, lift the hips as well. Come into your bridge pose. Rising, rising, rising from your chest, and then come up onto your tippy toes. In bridge, lift up into your tippy toes. Good. And some of you might be able to walk your feet back towards your hips a little more, lift your hips even higher so you can take your hands to your lower back as though you were going to go straight into shoulder stand. Good. And some of you might feel that you can support the lower back here, navel to spine, keep those shoulders engaged, take one leg up to the sky, and then maybe the other come into shoulder stand. If that's not available, hang out one more breath. And then if you'd like, release your hips back down to the floor, come into shoulder stand the usual way, or place a block back underneath your seat. Good. It's just an interesting thing to play with, right? The ability to get the back into the position of shoulder stand, the openness of shoulder stand, and then to be able to take the lower body, the legs up with its own power. And if it's not today, that's okay. But now you have a sudden awareness that, oh, that's a thing I could do. Right? So some variation of shoulder stand. Nice. Pressing down through the upper arms. Beautiful. And again, you can place that block underneath the sacrum and come back to the supported variation. That's perfect. Feel again that lift through your low belly, through the inner thighs, as though you're doing that abdominal exercise again, even if you're on the block. Feel your legs get engaged. Good. If you're in full shoulder stand and you'd like to come into plow, go ahead and let the toes come towards the floor above the top of your head, lifting your hips even higher. So you keep extending your spine, keep pulling up through your armpits, armpits to hips, up, up, up. as the feet drop down. Good. And then slowly start to take one leg and then the other back up to shoulder stand. So it should mirror a little bit of what you did with your abdominal exercises, legs up. Good. And then if you're in that full shoulder stand, begin to roll down your spine one vertebra at a time. Make sure that you don't have a block underneath you before you do that. If you have your seat on a block, take your feet down to the floor, lift your hips off of the block, release the spine all the way back down. Everybody finds their way, knees bent, feet flat, spine finding itself back to neutral, or at least to relaxed, might not be neutral. And we talk about that center place in the body, and we often refer to it as neutral because it is where all of these different energies mix. So it's not any one of them, but it's all of them. When it comes to your spine, is relaxed might not be fully neutral, but it's where you find the interconnection again with yourself. Good. Draw the knees in towards your chest, please. Cross your right thigh on top of your left. Separate your feet, reach for your ankles or your shins. Good. Gomukhasana. Drawing the knees in towards your belly, pressing down and wide out through your sacrum. Flex your feet. Good. Again, talking meridians, you really want to work some of those energy centers on your body as massage your feet, because there are endings to pretty much every meridian system in the body on the bottoms of your feet. So even if you don't know what you're doing, foot massage. Slowly unwind, switch the legs, take the other leg on top. Knees in towards your belly so you get that fold through the legs. Make sure that you're trying to draw the knees in towards the belly. You're folding through the thigh creases. Good. Doesn't matter how much they can or can't move, but try to get deep into those thigh creases. Good. And then unwind the legs, please. Squeeze the knees in towards your chest. Nice. Extend the legs straight out in front of you on the floor. Point your toes, legs together. Take your arms alongside you, palms facing down. Slide the hands underneath your butt so the arms are snuggled up against the sides of your body, side ribs. Good. And you're pressing down through the forearms. You're pressing into the legs, pressing down through your seat. Start to squeeze into your spine, and from the top of your chest, from your sternum, pull up towards the sky for fish. So again, you squeeze those muscles of the back, hug in, and from the back of your heart, from your sternum, pull up. And as your chest opens, the head drops back. And again, feel your breath in your throat. Maybe even exhaling through the mouth so that you can feel, obviously, how the breath is moving through the throat. Good. One more breath, pressing down through the arms, lifting through the armpits, through the side body, through the back. And then release slowly, unwinding the top of the spine. Good. Stretching the arms up overhead. Good. Flex the feet. Press down through the heels, press down through the tops of the thighs, lower rib cage down to the floor. Reach, reach, reach. All directions, reach. Good. And then exhale, release, please. Letting the feet separate and drop open, arms alongside you, palms face up. You can practice feeling yourself, not just breathing, but feel yourself as breath. You're immersed in breath. Begin to bring your awareness to the breath. Don't move yet. Begin to breathe consciously through your belly, middle ribs, upper chest. And exhaling, feeling the breath release from all three places. Inhaling the wave of the breath all the way into the abdomen, middle ribs, top of the chest, even up to the throat. And then exhale to release. A couple more breaths that way, breathing into the belly, ribs, chest, and try not to segment it too much. You're just feeling as the breath flows through those 3 points, through those 3 regions. But feel it as one wave of breath, so you're not stopping it at each place. You're feeling belly expand, and then the ribs expand, and then the chest expands. And then you release everything. So creating this awareness where the breath is able to move more deeply, more powerfully. And expanding the space in which our awareness of its movement is clear. And pranayama practice is preparing the body, preparing the physical space, the body and the mind to experience that unified reality. We call it meditation, we call it samadhi, we call it bliss, we call it a lot of things. But it becomes easier to rest in that when your prana is free to move, when your mind is free to see and experience things as they are and is not trying to still make sense of what was. So your prana has the ability to transform everything. It's your superpower. To become a witness to your prana, a student of your prana. Become open again. And the more we are open, the more we can be absorbed into that unified experience of wholeness, of bliss. One more deep breath in, however the breath is flowing. A deep breath out, dropping whatever does not need to be carried back to the earth, back to the ground, compost it. And then begin to let your body stretch and move, moving fingers and toes, arms, legs. And as you're ready, draw your knees in towards your chest. And roll to your right side. Taking a moment before you begin to push the floor away, come back to an upright seated position. And bring the hands together in front of the heart center, palm to palm, or whatever mudra has been serving you well. And again, a mudra is another powerful tool to be able to feel your prana and to maybe direct it towards a certain feeling or a certain reality. So Anjali Mudra, how may I serve? Is how may I be a student of my prana? And how can I keep putting my attention in the direction of being open to feeling all the ways that I am existing in the world, not just the ways I'm used to, not just the ways that I'm comfortable with. Can I feel how my energy is moving and where it's not moving? And then can I breathe deeper? That's it. Just fill in that space where something's not moving. Put your attention there, breath will go. Your prana, your Vayus, or your superpower. Get to know them. We'll close with the sound of Om, deep breath in. Sliding the thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week till I see you again.
Thanks, Veronica.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Bye.
Thank you very much. It was great. Very good.
Yay.